Good morning, friends and Bitcoiners. Everybody out in Instagram land as well. Welcome to today's show of BCN Crypto Kickoff. I'll be your host, Mr. Clifford T. Mitchum, Educational Director for BitcoinCryptoNews, an aggregation site that goes through the internet, different stories about cryptocurrency, brings them all to you in one location that we share on our Twitter feed, on our Facebook feed, and you can, or excuse me, Twitter feed, and on our website. You can follow along with articles there. So, with that, also want to recognize our sponsor, Crypto Kickup, Crypto Quick. I always got to smooth all this stuff out. Crypto Quick. And Crypto Quick is an online directory and resource to find local businesses that accept cryptocurrencies. If you have not claimed or created your listing, be sure to go there and do that. Also, let them know that you saw their information on this show, BCN Crypto Kickoff. That way they know that this helps out everyone as they're looking for information on cryptocurrencies. Like to start out as we do by doing a crypto shout out to people that have liked and shared the show. Mr. David Crypto, big share, big like. Thank you for putting that out there and sharing it with your friends and everyone. And then my man, Eugene Forrest and his lovely wife, Sam, of Bitcoin and Coffee. Always love whenever you mention the show, and I always do my best to catch their shows Mondays, Wednesdays at 8 a.m., just before this show begins. And then you can also catch their Saturday night show where they either do a bonfire and some brew, because you generally don't have coffee late at night, although some people do. Hey, to each their own. But with that all said, let's go ahead and get into the activity in the crypto space. Now we start the show off with what we normally do in that is go over our disclaimer. The information provided in this show is for educational purposes only and is not financial or investment advice. For financial advice, please speak with a licensed professional. So with that, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Oh, let me say hello to our chat. Good morning, Bitcoiners. Woo! All right. So we do a live show, and then if you want to catch it at 9 a.m., jump on YouTube. You can see us there, or you can jump on the Instagram and see us there whenever we go live. But be sure to connect with us. That we can stay up to date for when we do go live and when we have this information out there. Otherwise, check out the replay. Hope the information is good, and we'll get back to you with more. So we do have joining us in the chat, Mr. John Stromletis. Crypto shout out to you. Thanks for joining us this morning. So with that, let's jump into what's going on in Bitcoin. Last week was the week of December 30th through January 5th. Now, in Bitcoin, it started off at $3,866.84, finishing out the week at $3,845.19. That's a $21.65 drop or 0.6% decrease. Pretty flat. In between that time, there was some ups and downs, some volatility in it, but nothing too extreme. And as you see, the week finished out basically where it started at, just not much movement, which is to be expected. We're just coming off that bear market, and everybody's still trying to gather their feet under themselves, figure out what's going to be going on, and what the crypto space has coming down the pipe. We do know a couple big events that we see, but overall, everybody's just still getting a little tepid, because normally there's a good first week and then there's a drop when you look at the historics of Bitcoin, and then it takes off after that. We do have some other activity that's coming down the pipe, so we'll see what kind of effect that's going to have on the overall fiat value. So we do have a joiner in our Instagram chat, Miss NQ Nita Q Ray. Welcome to our chat and our show, BCN Crypto Kickoff. Lovely to see you out there. So now, what was going on in Bitcoin this week last year? We can look at the Bitcoin started off at $12,897.70. finishing out the week at $17,429.50. Now it's a $4,531.80 increase, or 35.1% increase. Or excuse me, gain increase. I'll go ahead and keep that system and format. But nonetheless, so tremendous jump. The first week last year was just everybody was all enamored with the all-time high that we've just seen in December. So everything was just top of the charts. So everybody was really excited about what was going on. And just with that activity, you had a lot of fervor going into it. After that week, though, everything dropped off and kind of balanced out. And as we know, we had the beginning of the bear. It woke and it pretty much stayed awake for the entire year. So, you know, this year obviously didn't come out like that. That's why we're seeing more of a flat performance going into it. And, so this year is definitely different from that. Although I did see some good information showing how the cycle of Bitcoin has been 2 years good, 1 year bad. 2 years good, 1 year bad. So it's in a 3 year cycle of these bear and bull markets. So we'll see. I wish I knew that early last year. Would have made some difference as far as decisions I made. But I'm going to look into that more and see what kind of activity that happens, that follows. What we see a lot in crypto is, there's 80 different ways it'll go, and only time you hear about the one off way that actually it happened was after it happened. So it's kind of like one of those prophecies. You don't know it's going to come true until after it came true. But nonetheless, we'll see what this year has in mind. So we look at the performance of next week, last year in crypto, or in Bitcoin. And Bitcoin started off that week at $17,527.30, finishing out the week at $13,980.60. That is a $3,546.70 drop, or 20.2% decrease. So just as I was mentioning before, and what typically happens, it's a great first week. Second week, everything just goes down, and you just see what happens there. We're at the beginning of the second week, and numbers are, they're nothing too exciting to worry about. No big slide off. But last year we saw a big slide off, so we'll see what happens on that. I really don't think we're going to quite have that much of a drop, just with the things we have coming down the pipe. So my expectation would be a flat or modest decrease over the week. But I'm personally going to be putting some money into crypto this week. So dollar cost averages for what happened last year, do good on that. So, keep an eye on it, and we'll see how the expectations match. My expectations match up to the reality of the crypto space. All right. And we have another joiner in the chat. We have Mr. Paul Rouleau. Crypto shout out to you, Paul. Paul Rouleau is the rock of my little crypto world. So always in the chats, really supportive of the show. He's one of the people that's also is a rock on Bitcoin and coffee. So everybody appreciates him being around. Thank you, Paul, for being with us and hanging out. So let's jump into the quarterly activity. So now, looking at the first quarter of 2018, Bitcoin started off at $13,625, finishing out at $6,973.53 by the end of March. March 31st is the end of the quarter. That is a $6,651.47 drop over that quarter, or 48.8% decrease. The first quarter of the year is generally pretty lackluster. It's always been modest or down. So if there's any gain, it's been very small. But overall, it's been just the first quarter is a down quarter. It's the building quarter. Everybody's getting their game plan and their strategies. There's nothing wrong with this. The key to keep in mind is to just anticipate what's going on. Put your strategy together for the rest of the year, because now's the time to consolidate, get all the tax and stuff done. I know we don't like paying out the man, and he's got nothing to do with the crypto space, but he hands out silver bracelets to people, and I'd much rather have people avoid that and just go down that route. That's just my recommendation. You know, you go ahead and do what you do. I don't like it, but I want to be safe and be able to have the maximum gains and my freedom. You know, one of those things. But you have a lot of that activity of people going on, consolidating, getting ready for that. It's the planning stage. So get your plan together, be ready to act, and that way you can maximize any profits that you're doing if you're doing any trading. I'm not a big trader. I do a little bit, very little, but my big focus is education. If you're going to go down that realm or down that road, talk to somebody that knows what they're doing and knows what they're talking about to at least educate you on how it works rather than just trying to go in blind, losing your tail, and then trying to recoup and going back and reading the instruction manual later. So, kind of one of those things. But that's what we look at. So now, when you look at the quarter to date, and at the January 1st up to the 7th, Bitcoin started off $13,625, and then at this point was $16,477.60, or a $2,852.60 gain, or 20.9% increase. So now, as we said, that first week has been, just gangbusters, but it starts to taper off and then go down, hit the valley, and typically would bounce back up. But last year was an off year, and it just kind of just kept on sinking. Just off of the quarter, lost half the value, by the end of the quarter. So know that, anticipate it, get ready to jump. If somebody's looking to get into crypto space and start investing, now's a great time because everything has been so down. It makes it easier to get into it. If it goes down a little bit more, that's also fine in my humble opinion. But the thing to keep in mind is where it's going to be. This has been an infrastructure and building year. So, or this will be an infrastructure and building year because we saw that's what was going on all throughout last year. So now that regulatory infrastructure has been put into place, you're going to have activity of people actually starting to use it and put it into its purpose. So that's the main thing to keep in mind as far as where it's going to be. Who cares if you bought it at 4,000 or if you bought it at and it drops down to 3,000? As long as it goes up to 20,000, sitting pretty. All right, and we do have a new joiner in our Instagram chat, Greenbug Media Group. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for checking out the show, and appreciate you having me out there. And so let's look at what's going on in this quarter. So beginning in January 1st up to today, this morning when I made the notes. Bitcoin started off the year at $3,746.71. And when I checked this out today, it was $4,044.50. That is a $297.79 gain, or 7.9% increase. The thing to note in this chart is what happened at midnight Sunday. You had bots, you had traders, you had something going on that at midnight, I would imagine it's bots because of the time. At midnight, it had a big jump in the value, in the fiat value of cryptocurrency, or Bitcoin specifically. So this is that institutional action, or the bot actions, the whale actions that are actually starting to move funds. Whenever you see it just shooting straight up, it's just not the natural activity. You have a whale move or a large coordinated move that's coming into the crypto space. So you had that jump there. Also telling me if you're going to get into crypto, a Saturday night towards midnight, just before, let's say 11:30, might be a good time to start buying. And that way, once the bots come active and go live, you can catch some of that jump. But you never catch it at the very top. You never catch it at the very bottom. Just try to get close. That's key on that. But we do have that activity going in. So I plan on, whenever I make any investments in cryptocurrency, doing them in the evenings after we've had the values drop and come down a bit, because they always spike in the mornings. And as people are laying down to bed, they'll close out positions and makes the values, balance out a little bit more. But Saturday night would have been better than Sunday night would have been better than catching it at midnight. No, Saturday night, just before Sunday at midnight, would have been better to do just from what we see on the chart here. But also, we want to note the things that are coming in this quarter. All right, we have the Bakkt. It's scheduled to go online January 24th. So this next week, we might see a little drop, but the week after, I would expect to see the speculators starting to jump in. More people starting to anticipate what's going to be going on with that activity. We also have the Fidelity Trading Desk. It's going to be coming on towards the end of the month, beginning of February. You have the Nasdaq futures is going to be coming along in that same time frame. So this first third of the quarter is really when you have a lot of that infrastructure going live. So we also have the beginning of, or Goldman Sachs is having their crypto desk going as well. Now, just keep that in mind. So we'll have a lot of speculation. So we can't anticipate in the third week or towards the end of the second week, end of this week, a bounce as people try to get ahead of those jumps and those desks coming online and the influx that's probably going to be coming in from that activity. But there's no guarantee that that's going to happen. But if somebody's going to anticipate it, that would be some of the factors to put into place. Now, I've been hearing it for a while. Whenever Chinese New Year comes around, that you have a lot of people giving away cryptocurrencies, and that's what caused the value to drop. Chinese New Year is the year of the pig. It is going to take place February 5th. So if that's true factor, myth, legend, whatever, keep that in mind. Beginning of February, you have that. So there might be a drop around then. So all these little things, crypto's sensitive to rumors and just small activities. So keep that in mind. Also note though, with these legacy market desks connecting with the crypto space, we're going to have more correlation. So as the legacy markets go down, crypto may be going up, or an inverse correlation, legacy markets going down, crypto going up, or the opposite, crypto going down and the legacy going up, or them going up together. We're going to see some sort of correlation between the two. So try to get a gauge of what's going to be happening there. So you might have to pay attention to the legacy and mainstream media to get that information. But nonetheless, that's what we have going on in the quarterly activity. Keep that in mind. Put your plan together and see what you do to maximize on taking advantage of it. So now let's move into our top stories for the week. Our first big story is coming to us from Bitcoin News. Crypto shout out to you, Bitcoin News, for the great article. And it's headlined, 1 in 7 Chinese have invested in cryptocurrency. PA News has published findings of a survey that queried 4,200 Chinese citizens on their familiarity and opinions regarding Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, largely hearing about it through social media, but most don't understand it. China has 1 billion people, billion plus. 1 in 7 is about 14%. So to think that 14% of the billion plus people know about cryptocurrencies, it's a bit stretch. 14% of the people in the major cities knowing about cryptocurrencies, I think it's still a bit of a stretch. In that small sample size, I guess we can run with it and go with that. But I think it's still a smaller percentage. But the people in China and all throughout Asia tend to be very technological savvy. So I see once there's greater adoption and understanding as it crosses into the legacy markets, we can see this value actually truly coming to fruition and working towards that mass adoption. As we have more people come into the crypto space from China, from Africa, from India, where you have those areas that have large populations of impoverished, I can see those people driving a big move, a big jump in cryptocurrency as adoption expands. So 1 in 7, it might be accurate, close to. I think it's probably on the high end as far as an estimate, but nonetheless, still has a lot of potential to come to be true. So good article on that. Our next article is the Bakkt completes first round of funding with $182.5 million. That is an article coming to us from Bitcoin News also, 2 times on the top stories. Way to go. Crypto shout out double. So now the Bakkt is the digital assets subsidiary of the parent of the New York Stock Exchange, Intercontinental Exchange. And it has announced it's completed its first round of funding, and they're expecting to begin January 24th. But as we've seen in the ETF, these dates are subject to change. So we can make plans in anticipation of it. 182 million is, not a shy amount of money, particularly for people that don't really believe too much in the crypto space. And largely it's said that uh, cryptocurrencies are going to go to zero and they don't have much faith in it. So 182.5 million, it's a solid amount, but it's, we'll see where they take it because obviously they're going to be spreading it around to a couple coins, and a couple million is not going to make too much of a swing, but it could be the seed that brings in a lot more. The thing I'm more worried about with this is, does it actually meet its expectation of date and going live? We saw with the ETF, it just kept stringing people along, stringing people along, stringing people along, and caused fluctuations and a large amount of icing throughout the entire crypto space. So I wouldn't want to see any of that going on, but just have that in the back of your mind. That's what might end up coming to be. But good article. Our next one is Bitcoin on track to replace gold as dominant store of value, said from a crypto VC. This is an article coming from CCN.com. Crypto shout out to CCN. So now, a venture capitalist says Bitcoin is on its way to replacing gold as the dominant store of value, noting that its market cap has already surpassed that of silver. Gold's market cap is $8 trillion, and Bitcoin is only at 60 billion. So kind of a big gap going on there. But last year's activity was largely, my notes are weird here, pardon me, was due to overgrowth. But in the next 20 years, it'll truly be known and fulfill the big shoes that gold has put out. It's not, it's a bit of an overstatement to say that it's replacing gold as a reserve currency. It's something that's modern and it's something that is trendy. You could say that much. Replacing gold, 8 trillion. That's a big jump. Just the market's so small, so he might be onto something, but I think it's a little early to start sizing up gold. So, but silver, hey, silver's always been a utility currency or utility material, so not just a currency. It's just been the poor man's way to get into a store of value, and cryptocurrency could easily be taken into that space because it's just more accessible, and you have more people that are impoverished that can actually, take advantage of it. So I easily see it doing that. Getting in gold, I think you might be, biting off a little bit more than you can chew on that one. But nonetheless, like the article. Our next article, anniversary report, Bitcoin 10 years on in Venezuela. So this is an article come to us from BitcoinNews.com. Crypto shout out to Bitcoin News. So now, first things first, happy birthday to the Genesis block of Bitcoin. It started on January 3rd, and that's the anniversary of Bitcoin becoming Bitcoin, and being the currency that it has now, and creating all the other mining and industry that we have around it. So now, this article itself, I chose this because it shows the steady growth and incorporation of Bitcoin, focusing on the founder of a crypto-backed nonprofit, Bitcoin Venezuela, and that person is Randy Brito. Take the time to listen to the audio of the article and the interview. It's about 10 minutes long. The link's going to be in the description below. But check that out. It's just a good human interest piece on how Bitcoin has impacted people down in Venezuela and how they've utilized it. Venezuela's hurting as a country. They had lots of financial upheaval, and Dash has been key and instrumental in getting a lot more cryptocurrency adoption in Venezuela. So kudos to Dash. Crypto shout out for the guys doing their work down there. But Venezuela has been very influential in the adoption and growth in Bitcoin space. So check out that. Our final article is the DX Exchange. It's a NASDAQ-powered trading firm that will allow investors to purchase crypto tokens representing shares in major public firms. This is an article coming to us from CoinDesk. Crypto shout out to CoinDesk. Now, the Estonia-based DX.Exchange announced Thursday that it would launch its trading platform on January 7th, allowing its clients to purchase crypto tokens representing shares in different tech firms listed on the NASDAQ exchange. Customers will be able to use select cryptocurrencies as well as fiat currencies to purchase the tokens. it's, solid idea, nothing wrong with that. And it's a little unsettling though. You're getting tokens while the exchange is buying stock. So I would be a little nervous about that because just like exchanges, you don't hold your private keys, so they have access to the wallets. On these trading platforms, if they have the stock, they're the ones that are open to the dividends. They say they're going to pass them on to their users. I understand that, but it's still a little unsettling as far as the exchange actually owns all the stock and gets all the immediate dividends, tax benefits, and all that fun stuff. While the owner of the token, they'll get a currency increase, a fiat value increase. So, and how much do you actually hold on to that? You got to have a profit taking mechanism in that. So it's a cool idea. I'm a little unsettled by it, just because you don't actually get the physical stock, or it's not a representation saying you own the stock. At least in my understanding, I could be wrong and just misunderstood as far as that. But from what I understand, the exchange owns it and holds it, and it just gives you the certificate or token for it. But it's a correlation and cross between the crypto space and the legacy markets. That's what makes it significant. So you can have people that are more comfortable in that, and you have more connection in the crypto space and the legacy markets due to it. So something to keep in mind, and recognize what's going on. But good article to know. So now these are our version of the top stories. If there's a top story that you found and think that we should add, let me know. Reach out to us on social media, and we'll get that added onto the site. So now moving into our next segment, BCN 1 Minute With. And in this segment, we take 1 minute to go over the cryptocurrency projects. There's over 2,000, almost 2,100 cryptocurrency projects that are interesting and have several use cases. So we try to introduce those to everybody in about 1 minute. So starting off with a couple crypto shout outs to people that have shared the video. Um, I have no idea how to pronounce this. It looks like Thai, I'm guessing. But yeah, my man in Thailand, thank you. Crypto shout out to that. I just, that alphabet, I have no idea. All right, we have another crypto shout out to Carolyn Harris. Thank you for sharing and liking the videos. We have a shout out going out to Raj Kumar Shenigarapu. Thank you, crypto shout out, for sharing and putting that out into the ether and internet. Crypto shout out to Mr. Mark Hilgenberg. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Continue to do that so we can get more knowledge, introduction, and mass adoption in the cryptocurrency space. So now on Monday we do the show, so I didn't do any videos. On Tuesday we had the archive video that we put back out, and that was for Stellar Lumens. That's a remittance and microfinancing project. They just move funds all around the world. They're a a split from the people that made up Ripple. So, check them out, learn about them in 1 minute. On Wednesday, we had a video from Dash. They're a currency project, like we mentioned before, doing a lot of work in Venezuela. They're doing great work to expand their merchants that accept Dash. I think they're over 4,000 now, so lots of places you can spend and utilize Dash. Main thing is we need liquidity. We need to move stuff. Don't just hold on to it. Put it out there. And thanks Dash for doing that. And then we have archive video on Thursday of Neo. Neo is a smart contracting platform and uses a lot of dApps. So, check them out, see how you might be able to interact with them and learn about their project. They were originally ant shares and basically the Chinese version of Ethereum when they came out. So, learn about that project. And then on Friday, we had Tether. And Tether is a stable coin. It was, if I remember correctly, the first stable coin that was out in the crypto space. And it just allowed somebody that was a trader, to move their funds out of a particular crypto. Like, say, if they're moving out of Bitcoin, let the price drop, and then they can move back into Bitcoin as the price begins to increase. And that way they can ride that swing. So stable coins do have a purpose. Tether's the granddaddy, if not the first, one of the very first I had heard of. But great project. Take a minute to learn about them. So now, we did have our meeting of Bitcoiners of Southwest Florida. In particular, want to give a crypto shout out to my man David. Had a great chance to chat with him and discuss politics, and we have differing views on a lot of things. But great to actually get together with somebody and chop that up. And then also mass adoption. So we kind of correlated how the politics, mass adoption, and how cryptocurrency is actually the answer to a lot of this inability to get consensus, this financial irresponsibility that they have with balancing budgets, interest rates, and the like. But thanks for David for a great conversation on that. Now, Bitcoiners in Southwest Florida will have their next meeting February 7th, which is the first Thursday of February, and they meet the first Thursday of each month. And that is going to be at the lovely headquarters of Butterfly Estates. So check us out at 6 p.m. If you'd like to join that or get connected with that, check it out on meetup.com. Now, the best resource that I provide for everyone is our live courses, consulting, and education. We have our Bitcoin 101. If you're brand new in the crypto space, I can show you exactly how to open your wallets, get everything started, and move your fiat into cryptocurrency. Bitcoin 201. So you already got some cryptos you want to build in your portfolio, start playing with some altcoins. We go over and cover that. Make sure you know what you're getting into and don't make any major mistakes. And then we have our Bitcoin 301 and 302. In the 301, we start by going over the trading strategies and planning and how to, use cryptocurrency to make a profit. And 302, we expand on those strategies so that way there's more options that people can use to, profit from cryptocurrency in the crypto space. Now you can find us on social media. You can see us on Facebook, see us on Twitter, on alternative platforms, Minds, Tribes. You can check us out there. We have a Steemit account, which Steemit is so far behind. I really got to catch up and post more videos there. So my apologies on that. You can still find us there. And Instagram, Pinterest as well. We do have referral links in the description below. So if you're looking to get your accounts on Binance, Cryptopia, be sure to use the links we have there. That way they get reference. Say, hey, that show was useful to me, and I'll use them as my reference. And if you're looking to donate to the show, there are some donational addresses below. If there's a currency that we don't have listed there that you'd like to donate to us, reach out. Let us know. We'll get a wallet so you can put that towards the efforts that we put to provide great information for you all. So if there's ever any questions, concerns, or anything, drop them in the chat. We'll get those answered as best I can for you. But getting involved in the crypto space does take amount of risk. Keep in mind, though, you have to risk it for the biscuit. So, just be smart about it. Don't just go out willy-nilly. Have a plan, research your projects, and learn about what's going on in the crypto space. Thanks, everybody, for coming out to the show. I hope you enjoyed it. Write anything in the comments below in the description, and be sure to share it, tell your friends, and we can get more people that will accept mass adoption, and we can Bitcoin the planet. Thanks for coming out, guys. You all have a wonderful day. Love what you're here. I'm looking to get into more crypto. Can't give you recommendations, talk to a licensed professional on that. But what I'm going to do, thanks for coming out.